Quick mention here before we go over to the next segment here regarding Lars Vilks, Swedish artist. He died together with two police officers in a what is for now dubbed a traffic accident. I had this guy on the show back in 2014 where he joined a couple of other guys that were doing some art projects in Malmö at the time. This guy's had police custody for over 15 years, I think, or almost 15 years before he passed away. Because he once drew a cartoon of Muhammad with a dog's body. Right, he made fun of Muhammad a couple of times, and then all hell broke loose. And of course, they were what is it called, a fatwa? What is it called again? They were issued against this guy and all this. He was a mellow boomer. He was laid back. He was not, an artist guy. He did different things and all that stuff, right? But so a lot of people are having questions about this. It's very strange. It was an accident on one of the what we call them European highways, right, all over Europe, the E4. Outside Markaryd, where's that? Is that closer to? Is that central Sweden? Markaryd. I'm a little. Is it southern? It's actually southern Sweden, right? Yeah, it's southern Sweden. That's right. That's where he lived and stuff. So the car went over, as far as I understand, so far on the opposite side. Somehow went over on the opposite side of the road and collided with a truck. Right. Sunday afternoon, Swedish time, when it happened. So I also saw some sources talking about how he was traveling very, very fast, like 160 kilometers per hour or something like that, right? He was 75 years old. It's a strange case, right? Very strange case. People were wondering how it's one of the safest stretches apparently that they do have, and they have these, wire roads. I know some of them are not too great or whatever, but there are a lot of people having questions of how the car would have ended up on the other side of the road, and some people, of course, are speculating they were either pushed over, maybe someone were following them, maybe someone was, had an issue or something like that. But check this out too. This is one of his last art installations. Was him simulating a car crash, by the way. Look at this here. I mean, he's kind of a wacky guy. He did different things, right? It's like a slow motion thing or something. I've actually not seen it. He's being filmed here in an artwork, which is like mimicking a car crash. The artwork, I guess, was called Crash, too. Anyway, I'm reading the Swedish subtitles here at the same time. It is kind of odd, though. It's almost like there's something else going on here, right? But anyway, so that's one of his... Look at this weird thing. He was like a wacky guy. He did all kinds of weird things. Boomer. So I guess it happened, this little collision and crash. But anyway, the point why I'm also bringing this up, of course, is, I've talked about, he was complaining on the Islamification of Sweden. He's talking about, he very much free speech guy. He saw it as our tradition in Sweden, we should be able to, talk shit about Muhammad if we want to and stuff like that. And he wasn't really, doing it just to antagonize. I didn't see that either at the same time. He was, but basically what happened is a bunch of Arabs were, of course, dancing on his grave and stuff, right? So people did screenshots the other day. How they're celebrating this and how great it was. Finally, he's dead, and this, he deserved all this and all that kind of stuff, right? One comment said, "I'm very happy with his death of this man because during his lifetime he committed heinous acts of dishonoring our Prophet Muhammad. I pray to God to make him feel like he's in hell in the hereafter. Anyone who criticizes the something about the Prophet will die in torture and disgrace." So that's to be expected, and that's why some people had some theories. If there's a fatwa on this guy and had police protection for 15 years, well, maybe someone. And as far as I know, there's no surveillance camera on this stretch, right? So we don't have any answers so far of what actually happened to the car. Was it pushed over? These people have a long, grudge timeline. They for decades they hang on to things, and if they can get to a guy they will get to a guy. And of course, with increased Islamification and the growing Muslim population in Sweden, not a big surprise that they would do something like this. So here, someone tweeted out, here's a here's a photo of Sergels Torg in Stockholm, right? It's one of the central kind of squares in Stockholm. And what you see on the picture here are Sweden's moderate Muslims out protesting against the disgusting reaction of all the extremist Muslims that were celebrating Lars Vilks' death, right? So that's the photo there of the protest against the extreme Muslims in Sweden. All right, well, rest in peace, Lars Vilks. Yeah, 2014, I interviewed him regarding some of the art projects and stuff like that he was involved in.